Hi, lovely ladies. It is day 3 and a very special day 3 today because we talk about UQ Mojo. Now, if you've seen any of my other trainings, you'll know I talk about different types of intelligences. As a psychologist over the years, it's been very interesting learning so much theory, so much new theory that echoes old ancient wisdom, really. And also some new research that talks about the growth mindset, ways of stepping into more flow, how to really become the best that you can be. There are so many examples of this around. But what I think is very important for our call today and for speakers specifically to become paradigm shifters is to really hone in on this uniqueness. And this is a kind of intelligence. I call it your unique intelligence. And there's an entire process that I teach to help you get towards your UQ quota of uniqueness. How will you use it in your business? How will you develop your unique selling point? How are you going to use today my teaching to find your unique mojo? In your speech, you need to have one fundamental point that is going to shift people's attention. Now, I want you to look at this as either a type of anomaly. And if you know what I mean by this word, it means either it's something that you are going to redefine that goes a little bit against the average way of thinking about this particular point, or you're going to spin it on its head. This catches attention and it's there. If you are moved to focus on a particular topic, and you know that this topic is something that's very connected to you. You followed my day 1, which is all about finding that unique texture to why should you be speaking about it. You've also looked more at the relevance of it. You've looked also at the pivotal point. This meditation you did on day 2 to get your brain to remember and very powerfully vision how you want to be feeling is brilliant preparation for where we are today. Because today you're going to take that last point on day 1, which was all about what is the intimate reason that you want to be sharing this particular topic title. And remember, I might have given you feedback that you need to be very specific about it. You take that feedback, and today you're going to activate it a little bit more with this feeling you got from day 2. And then today we're going to actually build it to become part of what you are going to be sharing with people that is so unique and actually magical. So let's do this. Day 1, you talk to me about your last intimate reason why you're choosing this topic and why you think your audience needs to hear about it. What's relevant about it, what's pivotal about it, and what's your intimate connection. Now, point number 2 and 3, what is pivotal about it and what is your unique intimate relationship with it, are very important for today. Now, I want you to remember those 2 things, add to it the feeling that you got from yesterday's visioning, special meditation, brain hacking exercise. And today I want you to talk to me about one specific highlight in your career that was an aha moment. What was it? And I want you to look in your career. Don't look in your life. Your life is too average. It's too normal. It's too often that we hear people share and speak and develop their life moments. We want to hear about your career expertise because today we are building credibility. Now, credibility is a very important step in this whole process because it's also really a way of showing the audience that they can trust you. It's showing your alignment and your authenticity to knowing what you can deliver and never over-promising, but in fact, over-delivering. So how can you do that? First of all, you're always the best you can ever be compared to because no one is like you. You're absolutely unique. So you need to learn to work this and to compete only with yourself. But now to find the most original point about you as a speaker, as a professional, as an expert, and deliver it in your speech. So how are you going to do that? Well, here's my suggestion to you. I've told you that I don't believe in this kind of copy-paste version of content just repeating, all right? We need to find what is really original about you. And if you're going to step up at the podium or any of my podiums, I would really love it that you say something no one's going to hear again. Maybe they've heard the topic before, maybe they've seen videos before, but somewhere in your speech, there must be this one pivotal moment, an intimate distinction about you and this topic. Doesn't have to be a deep, dark secret. It just needs to be an insight from your career that is totally unique. So there is nothing more meaningful than originality as a speaker, because the minute you are not saying what everyone else has been saying, your unique insight and aha moments are key learning points that define your expertise. That's what people want to know. Why should I come to you? So it's not enough to just talk about a speech and research and move the audience with some emotion. If you want them to be shifted, if you want their way of thinking to change, they need to see a new piece of wisdom through you in your speech. So what is your insight in your career that has absolutely moved you or enlightened you or illuminated you into something that is now going to be the reflection of this light that we saw in our visioning meditation? So I would love it if you could now think about a way to highlight your entire speech, build up to your entire speech, or end your entire speech with this one very specific insight. I've given you some clues. It's either this pivotal moment that you started off on day one, or it's this intimate relevance that you have with you and the topic combined with your unique career insight. And I'll give you one more, which I've already mentioned, is the very powerful way of not only turning something towards your relevance and why you're great in that field, but actually turning it around. So it's like you disprove something, or perhaps people have always, cherished secrets. And you know that secrets are actually a problem. One of my previous clients who became a speaker had this very interesting contribution. So she developed speaking around how secrets aren't always to be cherished. And you can imagine where she went with that, right? So this is a very powerful turnaround. Yeah, it really turns and shifts the paradigm. What's going to be your contribution into that? Remember, I said you can also rearrange something that was once maybe an idiom. For example, one that I really love is copy waste, for example. So I could build an entire speech around copy waste that would go out to maybe tech people or entrepreneurs or startup people and start talking about how content is so ad nauseum repetitive when we're online, and it's really all information and there's no wisdom and there's no originality. And then I could build from that a very key learning point, a very key insight in my career, that if you are not unique and original in what you're doing, you really stand to lose maybe 70% of an audience, because they can go and find it somewhere else. And in fact, when you really think about it, copying things is a way of wasting. It's wasting this very powerful life force you have in your body. It's a way of wasting your original, unique contribution. It's another way of wasting your DNA, and on and on and on. And then I would probably bring a very specific life moment example in my career where it was absolutely fundamental that someone or somewhere somebody contributed something original. And that would be the final example of this UQ mojo, this UQ magic, this unique intelligence and the magic that it has. So this is a moment for you to be magical. And I put the word mojo there because it is your superpower. It is your magical juice. It's really what makes people feel tingly, moved, comforted, but also exhilarated, inspired, awakened, activated, magnetized towards you, your message, your learning, your teaching. And unfortunately, we have to do some deep inner work for that to really be transferred. So if you are looking to do some of that, of course, know that this teaching today will strengthen if you start working on your inner blocks, your inner limitations, and your own inner averageness. Okay. So if you have a mentor, or if you want to get one, or you want to do some coaching, let's chat. But of course, know that this should be on your agenda. What is unique about me? What have I learned in my career that I can really contribute to people now? And how do I build it into my speech? How do I make that a very key point in all that I'm sharing? I need to bring it in. And here's my last tip for you today. How are you going to do it strategically so that you can share your credibility? By this, I mean, people need to know what you're really capable of. And through sharing your career insights, what's uniquely wise and true for you about your profession, your industry, what you've learned, what you think is a magical, unique way of looking at it, or your unique take on it, your unique opinion. When you're sharing that, be very careful to also add in a few words about how long you've been doing this and the kind of results you're normally getting. So you could say something like, in my opinion, after working as a clinical psychologist for 25 years, it's clear to me that unless women have very powerful role models, they might continuously slip back down into the deep programming of centuries that tell them that they're not good enough. And then I might share an entire piece of research with them about that, or my own research with them about that. See how you can do yours. I wish you the best. Remember to type it into the comment box and I'll give you my feedback. And stand by, because tomorrow is day 4 of the challenge. And we have a very interesting time together, because we will then get a chance to actually talk more about integrity. You need to be able to find a way to build this integrity as you're developing your speech content. And I'll share more about that with you tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.